In the United States, President Donald Trump has announced he'll suspend immigration for 60 days because of a national shortage of jobs. Meanwhile, the White House has indicated it wants to open up to 20 states to have them reopen soon, as further anti-lockdown protests have been reported across the country. Well, Phil Lavelle joins me now from the United States with more on this. Phil, thank you for your time. So the president has announced 20 American states are preparing to reopen their businesses, get their economies rebooted again. He'd said that would happen in the very near future. What's the status of those plans and how are preparations taking place?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that is absolutely horrified a number of health workers here who say you cannot do this at this stage. Nevertheless, this is a country that is divided along two very different lines. On one side, you have states like California, where I'm sitting right now, where we are in lockdown. There is no hope of public businesses being opened in the next few weeks at all. Beaches are closed, parks are closed. It is the law that if you go out to a public place, you have to wear a mask. At the complete other end of the spectrum, you have these states, 20 of them. The president says they represent 40% of the United States population. They all tend to share the same characteristics. On the whole, they are southern states, they are the Republican states, they have a loyalty to the president, and at the top of them is Georgia. Now, we are not talking about some non-essential businesses opening here. Georgia is planning on opening places like bowling alleys, tattoo parlors, hair salons, gyms, movie theaters, places where you will go and find thousands, hundreds of people in one place at any one time. Now, what we have here really is a problem because we have the balance between trying to save lives and trying to save the economy. Remember, Donald Trump is up for re-election at the end of this year. It's still 7 months away, but he has to fight this election on a strong economy. And a strong economy is something that he's not got at the moment. The economy here is on its knees. There is a record number of Americans now on the employment list. People are losing their jobs on a daily basis, thousands of people. US crude oil is at its lowest level ever. So we have different states now saying, you know, we need to take an approach. We really need to open these economies. In fact, we heard from the governor of Texas just a few weeks ago who said some people should even be willing to sacrifice their lives to get the economy back on track. That is how some people here are viewing this. But as I say, public health officials absolutely horrified. And this is being done on a case-by-case basis. This is a state-by-state thing. The President, Donald Trump, had said earlier this week that he would decide when the economy started. He was quickly put in his place by Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York, who said, you know what, this is a state issue. We will decide individual states when we go back to work. And as we are saying now, 20 of them, 20 Republican, Donald Trump supporting states are now planning on reopening their businesses.
Phil, you mentioned New York. It's been particularly badly hit, New York, and Donald Trump and the governor have had a few sort of quite public disagreements, but Donald Trump's vowed to help them increase their testing capacity. What's the status there?
Yeah, I mean, these are two men who really do not get on at all. I mean, we've seen those barbs, those blows that have been traded metaphorically between each other. But we know that they had what were described as constructive talks. Governor Cuomo said that he wants to double the number of tests in New York from 20,000 a day to 40,000 a day. He said he wants also government aid to be given to the state. And he said that Donald Trump was open to this. He said he would look at this in forthcoming legislation. Donald Trump, he said to him, tell me what it is I can do. What is working for you right now? How are things improving? What can I do to make them better? So as we understand it, they were constructive talks, but I think it's fair to say don't expect these men to be friends anytime soon.